company called Rockefeller Records. Shout out to Dame. I know we don't see eye to eye, but I can never erase your accomplishments.
Thank you,
and
Jay.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for acknowledging Dame Dash.
Shout out to Biggs.
The Biggs.
One of the most
You know how great I am. I don't have to tell you about my strategy.
Yo, Todd, it's time to go.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes when I'm alone, I stare at the wall, man.
Just one man is hogging the attention. Michael Jordan.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm done and make sure it's broke. When I'm gone, no one gets on. Cause I won't let nobody press up and mess up the scene I set. I like to stand in.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard. As long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winning. A select few of us will do well.
Have Godfather status, make niggas bow down. Y'all go all shiny glitter and keep your ones, 5s and 10s, 20s and up. We dummy it up, make a lot of money, look bummy and what? Cause money ain't shit, respect is everything. When I kill niggas dead, don't ask me.
Yo, what up, yo? Rappers running out. It's the real though. Let's get it. Positive zero. We can straight places. Lifting in the staircases. Word up, pieces. Hustler in the star faces.
Everything you do, you go hard. When they doubt you, you definitely gotta go hard. When you fall, you go hard. That pain gonna make you grow. Big motion.
And I go speak to him like, why you do me like that?
What did he tell you?
Man, your rap sheet.
A rap sheet? Man.
Look.
NBA rap sheet.
NBA shit. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA?
This is what he told you.
That's what in his office. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA?
I have no motherfucking fear. I have no fear. I have only ambition, and I want mine. And I will do anything to protect and feed my family.
What up, world? You already know what the time it is. Your boy Matt is the host with the most lemonade to brag no boss. All we ever did was give a toast to the real folks who done paid the way in the real way. Now, I told y'all I'm ahead of the curve when it comes to this information, man. I told y'all Shyne was doing this. He spat in his face. But you know, he was a part of a music conglomerate that was ran by Diddy, you know. He's a fan of his own music, you know what I mean? He's a fan of the movies, but he ain't a fan behind the music. So yeah. Guy in this industry. And I feel like Shyne, he has something going on with Diddy. It's deeper than rap, but it came to the fork in the road, you know? And Diddy wouldn't really vouch for Shyne, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing behind it. It's sort of like when y'all talk about Daisy can't report for being no one vouched for him. Sort of like the same shit. So if it was really Shyne's fault, he wouldn't have been so mad at me about the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? The shit didn't play out like it was supposed to. We're gonna run through this thing and be real quick, real slick with it, and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm trying. Really had nothing to do with the bullshit. This is Diddy a couple of years ago. hating on Shyne and Pope. They're trying to say Shyne is the right. Oh, but didn't say no. Very much was really on, yeah. Oh, well, let me show back to you another sponsorship from Steve's great hoodies, right? Mama mentality, constant quest, desperation concept, which we all aspire to be. That. Just so I'm the strength of Kobe, you know what I'm saying? To see his greatness. That's all be great. This and Shyne.
Disclaimer since we got company in the room.
Yeah.
My disclaimer?
Yeah.
Okay. In the view room, including myself.
March 8th goes to a man that Diddy knows very well, Shyne Pope. Shyne, you gotta chill all the way out. You've been home for 6 months and you haven't dropped one hot record yet. The material you're dropping isn't even yourself. I'm assuming this is what Foxy sounded like when she was deaf. Does anybody in Belize know hip hop? Where your friends to tell you? Record, but don't release. Record until you get your mojo back. Practice, but don't release nothing until you absolutely, positively get by tucking your Jewish curl behind your ear. The curl is not to be tucked behind your ear. And straighten your yarmulke up. Stop cocking it to the side. Wearing it like a Yankee. Give that guy a hee-haw. Diddy, would you like to comment? No pressure, it's only live. Come on, Shyne.
Diddy's looking at me because he's not looking at you right now, just so you know. On this break.
This is the Breakfast Club on Power 105.1.
So entrenched, disrespecting Shyne. No. Diddy, you messed up. You should have told Charlamagne, yo, don't be talking about my artist like that. I wouldn't get sour, y'all are all buddy. You know what I mean? I mean, he was out, but he brought him onto that whole tour and everything. Now, why didn't you check Charlamagne out? I'm not saying that his music was trash. Why didn't you check Charlamagne out? Is it a little animosity you feel? Like, what's the situation? Let me know. So fast forward, Shyne's running for president of Belize, right? So this new interview, BC interview, was real eye-opening. He said some stuff that we never knew before. His relationship with Diddy. The whole nine. But what's that, your boy, you know? You know, there's some haters. Hey, man. Let's check this interview out with fair use act. Just speaking my thought. So go ahead, congratulate.
That's dealing with a difficulty, that's stuck, that's going through the most devastating period of their lives, to understand the resilience that lies within all of them. And so I think
I've heard you say that what you've done since your incarceration is and has been, what were you doing in the name of before incarceration?
To be Shyne, I wanted to be a great musician. I wanted to, make my mark on the world through my music. Required it. This kept when I pressed discussion with my father, telling him that, what's your debt? I know some billionaire friends. It's back in like 2009 that my success is becoming a politician, becoming the prime minister, in order to create policies to create a society for Belizeans. That's everything I do. My success is not a documentary. My success is not, investments. It's not anything to do with personal gain, right? For Belizeans, create education when they graduate high school, and they're brilliant. But right now, the facilities that they get for a loan, they have to pay immediately. Whereas if they were able to pay those facilities after they got their degrees and employment, that'll make a world. political space, I'd still be doing whatever I could to promote beliefs, but certainly in that political space in my life, period.
Don't mind, and music.
Yeah.
Tell us about when you started rapping and how you ran into, accumulated your whole rap career and why you wanted to become a rapper.
So, my pops was a DJ. My pops was a DJ. We always, that's the only thing I have over him. He was a prime minister for 3 consecutive terms, a retired parliamentarian.
Look at Charlemagne being all nice and buddy up to Shyne. Why didn't he apologize for dissing them? Now you're trying to understand. First place. So there's a lot of things. He's sort of speaking like a politician. That he can mistreat. Blame folk for speaking his truth. At the end of the day, you can't let nobody who ain't been in your shoes tell you how to tie your laces. That's the name of the game, man. Trying to hate, or you trying to be better. I just want to get to hard back and talking about this whole situation with what are you gonna go through? What's going to
I was kind of looked at them like they were corny, like that's not something that you wanted to be. That was like, you tell the guys, yeah, bust a rap for us and entertain us. And so I wasn't in that mind space. But I'd be in class and I'd gotten shot when I was like 15 or 16 before I graduated high school. And I made a promise to my moms that I'd stop going outside. I wouldn't be involved in anything. I just finished high school and I went to sign a deal with Bad Boy. And that's how the music thing really became my focus, because that's all I was doing. I was in the house listening to music. That's when Only Built for Cuba, molded and shaped, my music career, and molded and shaped me as a human being growing up at that time. But when I used to deliver messages right around here, all up and down these New York City streets as a messenger boy, that's when it really intensified. And it was like, I guess, a blessing from God. And I guess that was kind of my blessing. I got down to Velif. Even though I'd seen friends get killed and I saw those things, actually having it happen to me, there was nothing that I was afraid of. So when I would see the street team, I'd see the Def Jam street team or Loud street team, I'd run them down. If I delivered a message here, I'd try to sneak and see if I could see Charlemagne and DJ Envy. I remember going to Hot 97 doing the same thing. All the different radio stations just rapping. Brother Austin, Bob, if you hide in the barbershop, you hide.
Yeah.
The barber, yo, Get up out my chair. Trash. Don't ever come back to the barbershop rapping the nonsense. But the barbers, that's one of the good things about this documentary. It shows you how you can manifest, your greatness, manifest where you're going, will yourself into existence in whatever space you want to be. Because I ran up on Austin, and it's a dangerous thing to do to people in Brooklyn. To run up on somebody and be like, you're in the music industry. And I ran up on him and I said, yeah. And I just started spitting for him. And he was like, wow, hold up. And he called Don Pooh, who was managing Foxy Brown, who would manage B.I.G., and my boy Manny. And that's how it all came to
with that. Everybody offered you money. Def Jam, Loud, Bad Boy. I think they said even Rockefeller. They all offered you money, but you decided to go with Bad Boy, which at the time could have been a little weird because you sounded like Big a little bit.
Yeah.
And people didn't know.
Nice, but I gotta teach you how to make hits. That was over the phone. Mark pissed me on the phone with him. I gave Jay-Z my tape. He threw it out the window.
Is it true when you first met Jay, you bathroom, does he have his gun on?
Yeah, I was a wild boy. Guys and knife. That's literally.
But you used to walk around with 2 guns on you.
Well, that was that particular night. I had gotten shot at. There was a shootout in front of Daddy's house. Literally, like, this is a fairy tale. This is a fantasy. But that was like a rude awakening. With respect to the mafia and rock and C's and everybody knows all that now. But
that shootout because
exactly what drove it. Because there was a point where everything was good. Like we was on tour together. We used to hang out. But it went left. But we recovered that because when the C's came to Rikers Island, I took care of him. Rock and D-Rock went upstate. Made sure that I'm good.
So all these stories are in the doc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you was also telling us why you decided to go with
Yeah.
Pop.
So it was a couple months between I went to rap. When we just had to deal with Sony. Like I said, I tried to rap for Hove. Clark Kent, took me to Clarence Avon.
Legendary.
Yes, the legendary. When he was the head of Motown, Universal. But nothing was really sticking. So like I was having these meetings, I was rapping, we was moving around. Yeah, and I rapped over that, and he went crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Like nobody was talking. Nobody was like, oh, you sound like whatever.
Big, right.
Everybody was just like, yo, this kid is incredible. So he took me into Lior's office immediately, and Lior was, in the Israeli voice, you're not leaving here until you sign the deal. And that's when it just went like wildfire to Los Angeles. I think it was like the Soul Train Award. It was him and J-Lo at the Let's Do It There Right Now. So he had a party at his Mulholland Drive mansion, and Russell would tell him, I'm just gonna have a look with them and let them know that, just out of respect. And I never came back. because I was always a businessman. And so while I appreciated the magnitude of the celebrity and the power, and Puff was the biggest hit maker at the time, there was nothing close to it. This is Def Jam merged with Poe and X. You know, they were old at the time, and Puff was that. I did a deal with Diddy. I never figured I had a meeting with Jimmy Iovine, and he said, listen, you know, come to me if you want to be your own boss. You know, I want self-contained. Even know how to put the infrastructure together to run a company at that time. So for me, it was about getting the blueprint, getting the manual. No, absolutely not. Because the things that I learned from Diddy, as far as, you know, being a great performer, being a great musician, my confessing my challenges and struggles, into being an entrepreneur, into being, you know, so diverse with the way you look at yourself, understanding that you could be at any table, and that, you know, there are no boxes for us, especially as hip hop, you know. So despite what he's going through, and despite what, you know, he has done to me in the past, you know, because those things only come up now because when you're
that, you know, and then, so you sign with Diddy, you sound like Biggie.
Sound like me.
You sound like you. People think that you sound like Biggie. And I, you know, talking to Bad Boy people, they were like, you know, it was hard at first with DJs because it was like, he sounds like Biggie. But they said, out of any Bad Boy artist that ever was signed to Bad Boy, you was the only one that would be there before the people that worked at the label, and we were a star.
Yeah.
Sounding like yourself, which, you know, people say sounded like Big. Was that good? Was that bad? Was it bonus? Was it difficult? How?
Into the industry, I sound things nice. The entire comparisons came about because I wasn't putting out music that met the benchmark of greatness and excellence. And the reason I was in my own room as a kid, that's how poor we were. My mom's never, my grandmother and my aunt, as most immigrant people from the Caribbean do initially, we was never able to get out of that, you know. So going from never had money to go to school, never had much, to getting $1 million, I spent like the entire 98 just running around. That's how I got the name Poe. I was actually dating a woman. She was a music executive who used to date her. I looked like just leaving in the middle of the street. Like I was a wild boy. I was living, you know, this fantasy of a young, you know, inner city youth with $1 million in the entertainment world, you know, with my future in front of me that seemed, you know, unlimited in its potential, but I lost focus. So when music did come out, it wasn't sounding the way that it was supposed to sound. I keep it, you know, as the young people say, a thou wow with you that sounds like trash initially. So when it came out, obviously the people that I didn't sign to, they were signed to them.
Shyne, keep it a thou wow.
That's when Diddy started to come down, and his peak was like, you know, unparalleled. And then he started to decline. So a lot of the shots, and then that's when Hard Knock Life came out. That's when, you know, X came out. And it was when, y'all never forget when, you know, Get At Me Dog came out. That was it. That was it. That was it for Bad Boy. Like, you know, if you remember, like that was it. The whole dynamic of the music industry totally transformed. I wasn't focused, and so the music that would get leaked sounded like trash. And so people were like, you know, oh come on, you know, it's trash.
So the rumor that you were forced to sign with Bad Boy wasn't true. That was your decision.
I'll tell you, I was in McNally, you know, like every week to whatever I wanted, you know. Tens of thousands of dollars every week waiting to sign the deal. So yeah, I again, Kobe couldn't come in, and that's how Kobe became Kobe. So for me, I wasn't ready to be, and he told me that. I wouldn't have gotten that tutelage at Def Jam, in my opinion. And again, say what you want about Puff, but the things that he's accomplished in music and entertainment space and in his entrepreneurship, you know, it'll live forever, right? Right? Enough. Even though that's why I came, ego got the best of me when I got that $1 million, because I thought I was Puff. So I'm telling you, there's stories, I can't say who, but there's stories like of his like main girl that, you know, I was dealing with because I thought was, you know, I mean,
the time?
Yeah, in 98. I got
you were dating.
I in 98, and instead of getting in the studio and getting the information, I was living the life. And so that caused a strain between him and I, because he was like, who does this kid think he is? And there's even situations like with Mace. Mace was dating a girl, you know, and I started dating a girl, and that caused like a big thing. We had to have like a family meeting. It was like, yo, what are you doing? You know, you're like Kobe coming to the Lakers, and you know, you want to go after Shaq's joint, like you can't do that. And that's what I was on for 98. This is the girl that was also seeing Mace. She's, you know, she's selling millions of records. She had like the biggest record that year. And
Randy.
And she said, she's
not just but now you know.
You listen, the documentary is in the documentary.
Okay.
It's in the documentary. Clark Kent says who it is.
Okay.
So. And we had an argument, and she said, yo, you're nobody.
That's you?
Yes.
Damn.
You're nobody. You ain't sold one record. You think you style and you think you're that, you're nothing. You haven't sold a record. And that hit me like the hand of God. Just, you know, slapped me back into reality, because she was, and you know, look fly. I was there to make hit records, and I wasn't doing that. And that shook me up, and I was like, yo, where Puff at? All right, you know, in the gym, I was in the studio.
The song Bad Boy, guys, the song Bad Boy.
Yeah, Bad Boy. Bad Boy. We were in the Hamptons, and he gave me, kill this, you gone. And he's like, who's the guy that goes, and I'm like, Barrington Levy. He's like, yeah, we're gonna put him on there. Write the second verse is Puff's verse. Link's dragging on the floor. Because, you know, he's the mink guy, the fur guy.
At least to me anyway, if listening to you talk, it felt like it was more important to prove how street you were. Like walking up on Jay and asking Jay why you still got your gun, getting in the shootouts with you and your mafia. I don't know, it didn't feel like anybody was focused on rap back then. It was like
ability to transition. You can't just go from being on the street, getting shot at, getting shot, adjustment, the healthy, stable human being I am now. It took me 46 years to get here. Going from a young kid, fighting for survival. That's all you know. So, that's just the mindset that you had. So like, when I met Jay, I was literally, the year before that, I almost got killed. So that's just the state of mind, Whatever happened at the studio, out of that, I didn't want to go back there. It was a figurative thing more than a literal thing. But actually that's how we used to do it back then. Like guys in the music were real, like Jay was a real like kingpin, like he was a real street, hustler. So he might have had his weapon on him. Like that was the reality. Not everybody was making a. They're trying to be. That's what you were. Like when I first moved, to. On 36th Street. I came out, I was attacking Rick Ross, I was attacking 50, I was attacking Drake. And
understandable.
No, but I'm telling you, it's dangerous, right? That's not the energy that you're supposed to be putting out there in the universe. Again, just a lack of focus. And so I believe, that was the Most High just saying, come on, man, you ain't learned nothing. That's not what we sat up for 10 years for. So I think that was a colossal mistake to come out and focus on other people, which is able to do is to focus on myself and take responsibility for the things that I've done. But I think that's because I got it back. But now I'm not interested in rapping. But I use my voice now for the people who believe in the House of Representatives. Because when I'm writing my speeches, it's similar to writing I actually live and saw. It's the same thing I do them. And when I go in the House, that's what I talk about. I'm not just attacking the government to attack them. I'm actually reporting live from the streets of Mesopotamia and other parts of Belize.
I always wanted to know when we said cleared him and point
thing to get him in trouble.
Right, you said you didn't see shooting.
Right,
you didn't see
but the victim says Puff shot her. So my thing is, and I'm still saying, hearing it wasn't intentional because people were trying to kill us that night. And did he not, like, come on, the first XXL cover, Death Before Dishonor, everything that I'm saying now, I've been saying, it doesn't mean that I didn't forgive Diddy and move on, but when
knowing, you know, that Diddy's whole thing with Bad Boy and all.
Yeah, man, Flex needs to shut his mouth. Messing with Shyne and all that. Shyne was trying to be the president of the league, trying to do something positive. The latter part of his life after like that. Instead of making the rap game more wise. I feel like he made that whole thing progress. I mean, like the freestyle things that he does. Takes
all the artists would say that is it was all about family, right? That's what it was sold on. It was family. We all a family. We all together. We all in this together. But when it hit the fan, there was no family. It was every man for himself.
Absolutely.
You get out
and attacking him too. Moves that I made because I was fighting with Diddy, I was fighting with 50, I was fighting with Drake, I was fighting with Rick Ross. Like I was literally, I was like Samson, you know, pushing the pillars to collapse on me. So there wasn't an instant forgiveness. I got out in 2009. We relation until 2012 to Paris to meet. And that was the first that forgiveness. Owes me. He owes me. He owed me. He's a billionaire. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have been a billionaire. If I would have cooperated with the district attorney, he'd have went to jail, and heaven knows what would have happened to his career, right? So, you know, that's worth at least a couple $1 million. A billion that's worth. Interest, you know, the alleges that when, you know, he was on shopping spree. And so I saw that in Paris. He spent like $500,000 like in one day shopping for her. And then, you know, after I left.
She was around back then?
That's 2012.
Oh, 2012. Okay, yeah.
2012. That's what I'm saying. That was the first attempt at reconciliation after I got out. I got out in 2009. And then it took a couple of years before I said, you know, we reached out. I was actually living in Israel at the time. And, but I gave me like 50 racks. And I'm like, you know, you can't be serious. Like, that's 10 years, 50 racks. Like, oh, man, and I think I tried to spit in his face in Rikers Island. So
that's probably why he didn't come back here.
I didn't want him to come back. I didn't even want him to come see me. I didn't even know he was coming to see me down in the lawyer's office, and you know.
So you did an angry bit.
I really, you know, my life was devastated. How to continue living into my spirituality, got into my Judaism, you know, I did that. And, you know, literally, it was Scar, Nino, the whole crew. Of Brooklyn kids.
From St. John's and Washington Avenue.
Yeah, but I know, you know, I know those guys and everything was all good. Like, we embraced, everything was good. But you know, Diddy's my boss. Like, Diddy's, you know, remember 99, we spent the entire 99, and I'm not going to leave it down and be like, oh man, you on your own. Not going to do that.
Well, Puff was able to get Scar to help his case. But
I don't think Scar helped the case. If I remember, I think Scar hurt the case. Who helped Diddy and hurt me was Sharice Myers. And again, if you go back to my interviews, I said all this. I've been saying all this. It's just the power of Diddy, the power of his celebrity, his iconic status was just so loud. But like I said, I'm focused on Belize. I'm focused on becoming the next prime minister of Belize. And I'm really, again, I can't come up here and not talk about my life in totality.
I got to. I mean, that's actually the beautiful redemption arc.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think about you saying that you almost got killed today. I think about, I heard about a car accident that you was in.
Yes,
where one of your people got paralyzed and one got killed. Yeah. So and then I think about that happened like a couple weeks before.
No. That happened in 98.
98, okay.
Yeah, it happened as soon as I got my deal. I got the 600.
Wow.
Yeah, and the road was slippery. We were actually on the way to the party, and I was, because I still go to the block. I'm going to the block after this. I was going to see my cousin, going through. It's like it was one of my childhood heroes on 18th and Church. And so, I would always come on the block and take everybody to go party and get right. Yeah. So it's been a lot of tragedy.
You broke your arm in that situation too, right?
Yeah, I got the scar right here. But yeah, there's been a lot of tragedy, but there's also been triumph. There's also been the ability to be resilient. And you can't tell the story of triumph. You can't tell the prime minister's story. You can't tell any of those great things without talking about the obstacles. But I lost my train of thought when you asked whether Scar helped, and I was telling about Sharice Myers. So Sharice Myers was a security guard, and I begged Puff not to call her as a witness, because as I'm saying that did anything wrong. I'm saying even if he did shoot, he was defending himself, because we were all defending ourselves. So why would it have been so difficult for him to call witnesses that were saying the same thing? Because that's the truth. I wasn't in there being belligerent and acting in a depraved want, because that's what I got convicted of, assault for depravedness. And that was due to him. That was the most damaging witness. And we begged him, Wolf begged him, all of us begged him, please don't call this witness. This witness is going to bury me. And he called the witness. So
why? Why wouldn't you listen to everybody? Like, why?
Because he wanted to save himself. The strategy is somebody ain't going to be Diddy. So you got to be Shyne. And the plea agreement that the DA was giving me, because the DA wanted me to testify against Diddy. And he called me in for what they call as a proffer. So in the proffer, they wanted me to come in there and be like, yo, he had a gun. He passed me the gun. He started shooting. It was him. And I refused to do that. And so the DA was like, okay, I'll give you a plea deal for 13 years. So yeah, so that's what happened.
Have you ever spoken to the woman who was shot in the face, Natanya Rubin? She's been speaking up recently.
No, I haven't spoken to her. I apologize and I regret. I think I did Kojak? What's the name of the brother? Is it Reggie Oseas?
Combat Jack.
Rest in
peace.
I had done an interview with him, and I extended sorrow that she got hurt. And I've said it in interviews that I've done over the last couple of days when they asked if I have any regrets. I don't regret defending myself, but I regret that people were hurt. And so I said that as far as she's concerned.
She said it was Diddy.
Yeah, she said Diddy shot her. Yeah. But we don't know, because the bullet fragments were never extracted from any of the victims. But definitely there were 3 guns fired. Mine and 2 other guns. She said what immediately to the, she said, I just got shot by Diddy. But then when she got on the stand, she was trying to blame the both of us without blaming the both of us. To that.
Did she got paid up?
And so it's tragic. But like I said, we pivot, we move forward, and that's what I did in the second reconciliation with Diddy. When we reconciled again in 2020 or 2019. And so that's different. It's because I was at a different space.
That's when you perform.
No, there's a gap in 2012, 2020.
But before we get to that, have you and J-Lo ever had a convo about that night?
Yeah, never.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen her since that night. Well, the second forgiveness, that was a forgiveness of power and strength for my part, because that forgiveness came with no price tag. That was a strategic forgiveness, and I'm about to be, you know, elected official. I wasn't close to being the prime minister then, but I was going to the House of Representatives. What? It's just clean with everybody, and even if you saw different interviews that I've done, whether it be Rick that I've ever attacked, you know, I've expressed contrition for that. I was just in a different. I don't want to fight with anybody because I'm fighting for beliefs. So this is not about me anymore. This is not about any grievances that I have with anyone. It's like even with your elections, I congratulated President-elect Trump. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat, and that's how that forgiveness came about. Because I knew I would never get anything from him, but it wasn't about getting anything from him. And then when he came and he asked me to perform at the Lifetime Achievement BET Awards, you know, to me, I'm not a rapper, right? I was insulted, to be honest, because I'm an elected official and I'm on my way to try to be the Prime Minister of Belize, and it's dealing with serious policies that are going to problems in their lives. They're thinking about, you know, GDP. They're thinking about poverty alleviation, housing as a human right, citizen security, food security. You know, that's what they're thinking about. And they don't want a guy on stage, you know, performing. Like, promote Belize, that's what got me. And I was like, all right, come down when I'm performing and everything got to be Belize. And I have no regrets about that because it worked. And he was chanting Belize, and I changed up the first verse, you know, to say Belize. And so that was great for Belize, and I got nothing for that other than promoting Belize. So that wasn't about him. That wasn't even about me. That was about Belize. But if it was about me, it was a moment of power.
There was
because he needed me.
Because I think there was a rumor that he paid you, and there was a rumor that he paid Mace and Mason Short. But that was the rumor that
life. And it feels like after he went to prison, you started kicking his back in.
I guess it feels like that, but we just went through a chronology. No, we just went through a chronology of all the things that I delete the Lil Rod lawsuit and those accusations of him bragging about shooting up the club and making me go to jail.
So after one of those rules,
of course,
it triggers you. All right, okay.
We got to do the chronology. It's not happening in chaos, right? You got to do that. Because you got caught with the fan at Teeterboro. You say, what else is Lil Rod who produced Love album? Makes you look at him crazy. Then the video comes out. So then there's
proof about that.
Yeah.
Right? So the truth, and then you hear Rod say something like that. You like, oh, word?
Exactly.
You out here bragging about it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. That doesn't make the headlines. When they ask, how do you feel? I would not wish incarceration on my worst enemy. I take no joy and no satisfaction in what is happening to Diddy. And I pray for the victims, especially Cassie, that they get closure and they heal. And I pray for Diddy, that he's able to figure out why he is where he is. Because sometimes the same way the hand of God slapped me a few times, the hand of God comes down on him. And I reformed, I rehabilitated. So I'm not going to condemn Diddy in perpetuity. It's time for him to find his rehabilitation and his reformation and learn the lesson that he needs to learn. And I pray for him and wish him well. So nothing that I'm saying from a place of hurt and hate. I'm saying from a place of love and healing and moving on. But the truth is the truth. wrong.
And he would say, something he never did.
In Paris, you know, they say we were at the Lama. You know, I just seen you spend $500,000 on Cassie in a day. It's like, man, you know,
I did 10 years.
A ticket would have been, you know, that would have been the starting point.
But they offered you a deal, right?
I want to know in '99, of course, with everything going on with Diddy now, you see that looked a little crazy.
You want to know if he was in the free call?
I asked about it. It wasn't called free call.
I want to know if you see the baby oil. That's what you want to say.
Things. Nah,
I wanted to ask also, when Usher came out with Confession, and you did the remix, break that down, how that call came and how y'all did that, because that was something that we haven't seen or heard before back then.
Yeah. So it was as I say, excuse me, I say, you know, sitting in my cell, head about to burst, would be alive if I didn't shoot first. And I was literally, you know, in incarceration, all you have is my Yamaha. You use your Yamaha piano as your speaker set. So, and then you plug in your Walkman, and so when Confessions came out, you know, I got that, and the Confession song was my favorite song. I remember playing that song, you know, over and over and over and over and over again. And I actually, to me, then Mark Pitts and Jermaine Dupri reached me, because I still have my phone, still have my same number, and I used to check my messages when I would go to the yard, and I check my message, and I got a message from Jermaine Dupri, and I got a message from Mark Pitts, for me, and I already had started for those bars, and then guys, and so I always have people, you know, watching whatever I'm doing, because, you know, any day could be your last day incarcerated. And so yeah, I remember being on the phone, you know, rapping that song.
Wow. More shit in our culture, because 50 had just sold a bunch of records, and you know, he got shot 9 times, and I felt like Def Jam was just giving you the deal, because they were really looking for authentic gangsters. That's how I felt. Like they were looking for authentic street dudes who had
for the most part. Maybe there are some record companies that, you know, were just in it, you know, for the sensationalism. But I go back to what I said, you know, when I was out. No, but what I'm saying, so the system creates the art that we project. And so, you know, in a creative space, you have the, you know, for the music industry to suppress anybody's art. There's a debate as to, you know, censorship and how far you go, what's responsible, what's irresponsible. But 50 Story is 50 Story. I knew him before he got writing for other people, but you know, he told his story. It wasn't mine. And so the aftermath. But should Jimmy Iovine should have said no, we're not going to sign him? Should Jimmy Iovine say no, we're not going to pick up Death Row? When Time Warner dropped Death Row, is artists and do better. So if it's one thing I can say though, for, you know, people who are coming up now, is hopefully they learn from the mistakes that I've made, and they try to make that transition into just for that abatement to murder, you know, my prayer and my hope is for this new generation to learn from what I've been through and not have to face that 10 years of that life sentence and to turn the corner. But I'm very careful, even today. Def Jam gave me the deal. For the same reason, Dr. Dre was on the phone wanting to sign me. Why Jay-Z came to Rikers Island in the Maybach. Why Murder Inc. Like, this is what I'm saying. There has to be something about Shyne that no matter what I go through, people keep wanting to sign me. There has to be some extraordinary talent there because Murder Inc., Nas, Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, Ashanti. There's some Joe at All-Star Commission. That's my song. Like, people grew to love Shyne. And the body of work spoke for itself. So whatever speculations, whatever misconceptions were had,
decide to give up rap? Because I'm sure when you came home, or even recently, I'm sure people have tapped you to say, hey, I want you to get on my record. I want to hear your voice on my record. How many artists have reached out to you?
You know, respect to my guy Busta Rhymes. You know, he was one of the difficult no's, because when I came out, he was in Belize. He brought an AP for me. Like, is it welcome home gift? Wow. You know, he's real. A song a couple years later with a Belizean artist by the name of Prayer. You know, respect to him.
He signed Prayer, right?
Yeah,
he signed Prayer.
Yeah. And I was like, you know, that's when I was a running elected official. I was like, I can't do it. No, like
not even at all. Not even charity events, nothing at all.
Lifetime Achievement Award. You know, those were legacy moments. So, like, sure, if the Grammys, you know, said you don't want to put out a body of work that's subpar, that's below the standards that people want.
Has Diddy's team reached out to you since doing all these interviews? Just, you know, because I mean, I'm sure.
No, I think the team put a phone call when because there's a journalist in believes that throwing anybody under the bus. It's just that I'm not going to take the fall again because, you know, this particular journalist in Belize was trying to say, you know, oh, Diddy's your guy. You know, oh, that's your... Then that's where I'm like, but hold on, why are you trying to pretend as if I wasn't incarcerated for 10 years and reported for 13 years and, you know, we went through all these different phases. Like, why are you trying to link me with him? Yes, he agreed to give a donation and Howard Scholar that, but don't try to, you know, distort the reality. Don't try to, you know, recreate and rewrite history. This is someone who destroyed my life. And that's when you hear that soundbite. It's not me wanting to talk about that. These are the first interviews that I'm doing since his tragedy befell him, but I refused to.
He said directing witnesses to testify against him. These claims are unequivocally false. He was acquitted of all charges in '99, and he appreciates the path that you're on and wishes you continued success. And it's unfortunate that you've chosen to revisit Mr. Combs' positive, long-standing support for those he has.
It's not going to rhyme about it just to lie with him. And Nas became cool after the fact, but there were so many people that were hurt in hip hop that felt that he did me dirty. And it's just a matter of fact. I've been saying it, and I'll continue to say it. Even if what happened to Diddy didn't happen, that would have to be in a documentary.
Career, but they were still friends with Puff, and they maintained a relationship with him. Knowing what happened that night, and while you were incarcerated fighting for your life.
Where, you know, the currency, capital that I was looking at is how relationships could benefit Belize. So it was having to develop that emotional intelligence to think about the bigger picture. And to I don't know. So, you know, and then I moved on. Like I said, I'm not the one, I'm not Little Rod. He's the one that put the suit out there. You know, Cassie's the one that put this. I'm not the one that brought these things back to life. With the way it was, living my life in Belize, accomplishing the great things that I'm accomplishing, and just moving forward with trying to become the next prime minister of Belize. And using all my relationships in the entertainment business to promote and market Belize. And so that's what it was about. It wasn't about,
COVID. Belize press released I guess it's an incident or an article that you got into an argument with your wife. That was later. It was withdrawn. Yeah. Of course, politics or the rap game, because they seem like they both
to help people and helping people that come from where you come from. There's nothing. an exaggeration of the events, and that's what she said. She said that she exaggerated, whatever she told, and withdrew it, and we moved on.
Do you remember your attorney, Matt Middleton, attempting to sit down between you and Little Sean in order to tell you how to deal with Puff?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay.
You got another one? 'Cause I want to ask about Belize, right? That's one thing we didn't discuss much in here. Explain to the people what Belize is like to you, right? Especially for myself, who's never been to Belize. And why should people go to Belize? What's beautiful about Belize? Where should they eat? Tell us about the country that you smile about all the time.
Yeah, Belize is paradise. Belize is heaven for me. The most beautiful beaches in the world. White sands. If you love diving, we got the greatest diving in all of the free world. The Blue Hole. We got the best food. We got the most beautiful, humble, warm and welcoming people. My two favorite, I got a few favorite resorts. If you're going to stay in San Pedro, which is like the Miami of, Belize, I stay at the Alaya. That's my place of choice, a beachfront villa at Alaya. And then I go south sometimes, because south you can drive. When you go to San Pedro, you got to take the boat or you got to fly, because it's like an island, it's a key. But then for mainland, when I still want to be on the beach, I go to Placencia at the Itzana beachfront villa, or in Hopkins, which is one of the greatest places. I'm going there on Sunday because that's where the Garifuna community is. Garifuna, they're very big in New York and throughout. My grandmother is from Honduras, where a lot of Garifuna are from. So they have a very rich cultural experience there. But yeah, so and then what I got into in my older age is the rural area. Starting to love the river and that jungle vibe. And so there's a place called Cana. That's in Cayo. That's like on the border of Guatemala. So yeah, those are my favorite places that I would recommend for people to go if you're going to the city. The Fort George Hotel is great. That's like 5-star luxury. And I encourage people to eat at. There's a place called D&D's. It's a place that I've been eating. So on St. Thomas, best food that you'll ever taste. If you're in Belize City.
Jay Prince got a house out there, right?
Yeah, he's actually having, I think, a big party tomorrow in Belize.
Yeah.
But I'm here. Everybody's flying out there. So he got a few islands out there. He's been out there for a while.
He owns an island, right?
A few islands.
Yeah, he always says that. Come to Belize and get a tan. Come get a tan.
No, but Belize is paradise. It's great to invest. We have a strong democracy, strong transition of power. So even though I'm not in government right now, I still invite people to come down there, because when governments do change, there's no victimization. So your investment will be stable. Our violence is limited. Obviously you have the impoverished communities, and so most of the violence is restricted to those communities. So we don't have a problem with tourists. We don't have a problem with investors coming down there. So I definitely invite everyone to come down there and enjoy paradise.
My last question, where does God fit in your decision to forgive somebody that the world can now see could have been guilty of all that you accused them of back then?
Divine intervention got me to where I'm at today. And I couldn't be where I'm at today without forgiveness. Doesn't mean that I'm going to come here and refuse to answer questions. Doesn't mean that I'm going to sanitize history or rewrite it to protect anyone or to preserve anyone's feelings. But forgiveness is extremely important. So that's one thing for people to take away from the documentary, is that you do forgive. It doesn't mean you forget. It doesn't mean you rewrite history, but you have to let go. You have to let go, because holding on to anger, holding on to hatred, holding on to those deep-rooted trauma can become a cancer for you, and it can block your blessing, it can block your pathway. So like I said, the greatest thing I did was not expect anything from anyone, and that was hard, because like, man, you're a billionaire, at least let me get, percent of that, 10% of that. But when you change that mindset, which is, I don't want anything from anyone, get everything from God, I'll just work hard and I'll just keep going forward and no one owes me anything, you have a much healthier life. And that comes from a lot of prayer. That's why I spent, all that time in Jerusalem. I don't regret that. That was one of the greatest experiences of my life. But I learned from that experience that it's not about being religious. It's about being a good person. It's about humanity. And humanity has to be about forgiveness, has to be about tolerance, has to be about compassion, has to be about empathy. And those are action words. So religion is an action sport. You can't, be on the pulpit, or you can't, wax religion, but not live spiritual, not live a clean life, not live a healthy life. So, I've been praying for 30 years, every single day. There was a time when I was incarcerated, I'd fast for 6 months, sun up to sun down. So the type of rigorous spiritual training that I've gone through has prepared me for exactly where I am today. And being a political leader, we always hear about corruption. So many people get to the office that I hold and the office that I want to hold as the next prime minister of Belize, and they betray the people. They betray the values that they've promoted all along, the manifestos, the policies. They totally forget that. And so everything that I've been through prepares me, because if I didn't betray Diddy, if I'm still not, he might, be offended, he might be hurt because I'm telling the truth, but I'm still not up here saying, oh, Diddy shot them. Diddy had the gun. He gave me the gun. He told me this about Tupac. I'm still not up here saying those things. I'm still loyal to integrity, not to him. I'm loyal to the character. That's why it's called the Honorable. My title in the House of Representatives is Honorable. That's what they call all members of the House of Representatives. But I was honorable when I decided to risk 25 years instead of getting my friend, my brother in trouble, even though he was getting me in trouble, right? So God, that relationship with God, and I'm not talking about that superficial, that, fronting. I'm talking about when I was in the tombs, got, down and prayed with tears coming down my eyes. And I said to God, I'm not going to ask you why. I'm not going to ask you how. Because I was just driving a Bentley last week. I was just in my Ferrari last week, one of the biggest stars in America. And that's from growing up in Belize, where we didn't even have a toilet in my house, to a single parent home in Brooklyn. I didn't ask you why and how then. So I'm not going to ask you why me now. That's right. All I'm going to ask you is give me the ability to endure what I'm going through. That's all. Because I know the same way I got through. The most difficult thing I ever did was to become successful as a musician. To go from being poor and, making millions of dollars as an African Caribbean American is no easy feat. Definitely not back then. That was the most difficult thing I did in my life. So being incarcerated, I knew I could manage that, but only by the grace of God. And so, yeah, God has played a serious role in my life. You don't always listen, because I sat up for 10 years praying, and when I got out, I made stupid mistakes. But you keep praying, and that's what the documentary is about. You keep praying, you keep working, you fall, you get up, and it's all about analysis, self-reflection, constant assessment. You're constantly evolving, you gotta have the target. The target is to be a good person. The target is to be the best person, best father to your children. God bless my daughter Naomi. The best brother, the best friend, the best everything. And that's a constant. That's every day. You gotta fight for your soul. And for me, it can't come without divine intervention.
You made me understand some things today. Absolutely. You made me overstand something, because you said something just now. You said, I know what he told me about Tupac. So he had to have the tendency to do that. So that he probably did say those things to Little Rod. I understand.
Maybe in the memoir I'll speak some more about it.
Word. But I love your story, man. I think Absolutely. That just to watch you evolve over the years, you are a reason why you got to let things just play out. And you really shouldn't judge people when they're young, because you just never know the journey God will have them on.
Criminal justice reform. That's one thing that I don't think I've been verbalizing enough. I'm the poster child for criminal justice reform. I'm the reason that we shouldn't be engaging in mass warehousing. I'm the reason why young people, when they become involved in the criminal justice system, should be given every opportunity to reform and to rehabilitate, because this is what happens. Right. You got a bunch of young people that could become politicians, could become just law-abiding contributors of society. You don't want to destroy people's lives. And I think for too long, incarceration, hasn't worked the way that it should work. And there's been this rush to incarcerate rather than to rehabilitate. So definitely, I hope that the people that are fighting, I got to acknowledge my friend, Baz Dreisinger. She's a professor at John Jay. She does wonders with her movement of, going to bringing school university to prisons. They're doing a program, prison to university pipeline, where guys go in there, get their masters, their doctorates. There's actually a guy that's a professor at John Jay that started in her program. So he went from being incarcerated, getting his degrees, to being a professor at John Jay University. So definitely, I hope and I pray that the documentary can inspire people as they're dealing with the criminal justice system from the side of being an offender, knowing that there's hope for them in changing their lives and in becoming, the best version of themselves, and that is not the end of them. And for the people, the legislators, for the advocates to keep, advocating for a system that is truly just, because justice is not condemning someone for the rest of their lives. Justice is the victims need justice, but perpetrators need the opportunity to be contrite and the opportunity to reform for the betterment of society.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. The Honorable Shyne, the documentary is streaming now on Hulu. And Shyne, we appreciate you for joining us.
Make sure you come down to Belize.
I'm gonna make my way out there.
I told you that
absolutely.
2 years ago.
I would love to come. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank
Ladies
you,
and gentlemen, it's Shyne. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Earth in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Yes. Don't forget, log on to doggydiamondsnofilter.com. That is my official website. On that website, you're going to find videos that you might not have saw in the YouTube feed. Everything is there. doggydiamondsnofilter.com. And have you heard about this $100 promo deal that I'm offering? If not, let me give you some information really quick on why this might be beneficial to you. First and foremost, the promotion will be done on Doggy Diamonds TV and the Interlude TV, on the Insta stories, the YouTube community, the Threads accounts, Facebook, and the Twitter accounts. I can promote whatever you need, but as a reminder, this is for serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. I can help you bring more awareness to your products, your t-shirts, your YouTube, your music, anything that you want to promote. I can help you bring awareness to your product. Yes, as we go. Shout out to the whole Brooklyn. Brooklyn, what's up? We in here. Brooklyn, what's good? Let's shout out the room. King Michael Coy is in the building. The Enlightened One is in the building. Chico Lowe 914 is in the building. EC is in the building. That's a supporter right there. Sandra, how are you doing? Swag Champ, what's going on? Young Yala is in the building. F_Fierce is here. Big Ma, the moderator, is in the building. Derek Douglas, what's going on? Unpopular Opinions is in the building. How Well is in the building. Titty Boy Jim is in the building. Chinky Eye, what's going on? See Gutters around. Spirit Wonder, what's going on? Here we go. Check it out.
Doggy Diamonds did this.
Yes, G2G Corey, what's up? Bernadette Bernie, how are you doing? Beard Gang is in the building. I got some Beard Gang too. John Dante, what's going on? Brown Girl from Boston is in the building. Check Viz Online is in the building. Kelly Mills, moderator. Brown Girl, moderator. A-Tracks, what's going on? La 623 is in the building. Manny Alston, what's going on? Talk Show The Visionary is always here. Listen, Bloodshot Films is here too. What up? Peter Truth, what's up? Brooklyn Outlaw, Brooklyn. Well, I told you, Brooklyn gonna be in here deep tonight. Syracuse is in the building tonight. Via Sean Briggs. Leroy Green, what's going on? Renegade Revolver, where you been? Check it out.
Doggy Diamonds did this.
Yes. Make sure you hit that like button. This is gonna be explosive. Brooklyn is in here. This is Big Brooklyn tonight. I am Pretty Black KJ. How are you doing? Zay Indigo, what up? Shay Cobain, what's going on? Neltron 8000 is in the building. Yes, Beautifully Balanced is in the building. Michigan is in the building. Yes, Michigan is here. Don't forget, when you shout yourself, shout your area. We gonna shout the areas out. Beautifully Balanced, what's going on? Neltron 8000 is in the building. Nicholas Sealy is in the building. No Pulse. Josh is in the building. Black Earth is in the building. Tyrone James, what's going on? Big Damo, what is going on? Zip, Zoom is in the building as well. Young Yala Flatbush, that's Big Brooklyn. Omega TV is in the building. Don't forget.
Doggy Diamonds did this.
Yes, Cleveland is in the building. Yes, everybody is in the building tonight. The whole US is in the building tonight. How's everybody doing? I'm great, of course. Shout out to the OG Wisdom Podcast. That's my family. The first pin, let's start this out. The first pin comment on this video will be to the OG Wisdom Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to their channel and let's get them subscribers up. Let's run those numbers up. See, I'm seeing Bushwick in the building, Kingsborough. Oh, you know I feel good. We got the Star in the building. We got Bushwick in the building. We got Ian Y in the building. I'm feeling good about my borough. But the OG Wisdom Podcast, this is where this content is coming from. Not only is that my neighborhood, that's my family, my blood family. That's what that is. And when I say blood, I'm talking about the same veins, same grandmother, same everything. The OG Wisdom Podcast. So tonight's show is very, very important because you know I'm not into hip hop narratives. Ocean Hill, I see you. I'm not into narratives. I'm not into cap. I'm not into people telling stories. And y'all know I'm always the one to call somebody cap. I know people don't like me for that, but I be calling people cap because people be letting a lot of stuff ride. People be letting a lot of stuff just go out there and I be like, nah, they capping. That's not the truth. What we got to do in this culture, in order for the culture to survive, Neltron 8000, thank you for setting off that super chat. Y'all can follow his lead. The super chat is available. You come up on the screen. What we got to do in this culture, we got to stop the cap. We got to stop putting ourselves in places that we wasn't there for. We got to stop writing.
My bad, y'all. My bad. I have to go deal with the baby. You know, I just had a new baby and all that. So, you know what I'm saying? You know how that goes. But shout out to all my folks out there, man. Doing it up fizzle. Taking care of business. But that's what it is. Shyne ain't playing no games. Say he tried to come visit him without him knowing, and he almost spit in his face. What does that tell y'all? It tells y'all that everybody that disrespected Shyne and all that, they deserves an apology, man. Especially from Funk Flex. Funk Flex want to be all up in everybody's business. Don't got no type of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a car guy. Stick in the car lane, stay in DJ, you know? DJ, my pussy and stuff. My. So, at the end of the day, you can't be on that type of movements, you know what I'm saying? And then you're dating somebody that's trying to do good country. That's too tall. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers bragging and hating. All this devious shit, this immoral shit, and motherfuckers is straight. I'm in that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And Shyne is right. He has to have some type of talent for everybody to want to sign him. That's the talent, the mystique, you know what I'm saying? And everything that goes along with it. Shyne. You know the way he feels. His up and coming documentary is gonna be nice still, you know. Right. It's a good fiction trailer. I'm gonna go watch it. He just said he hated his time. But if he hated his time, why he left from home? Such open arms. You see? Key deal. Let's check this trailer out. We got here.
Wanted to sign me. I would ride my bicycle up the Brooklyn Bridge, and by the time I got down, raps would just come to my head.
I got a call. It was like, yo, you gotta hear this kid.
His name is Shyne. Kid is nice.
Now tell me who on the with us? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Whoa. This is a bad beat. Everybody wanted him.
Somebody called Diddy and started talking crazy. Signed into Bad Boy, I became a millionaire.
Bad Boy was very much like a family for a very long time.
At this point, I'm with Puff all the time. I go to Club New York, we hanging out, and I think we're getting ready to leave.
And then you hear
Bad Boy.
Police are questioning entertainers Sean Puffy Combs and Jennifer Lopez following a shooting at a nightclub.
I had nothing to do with a shooting in this club.
Puff couldn't handle going to jail. Every man for himself.
Puffy got acquitted and he got 10 years.
He was betrayed.
I was absolutely set up to be the fall guy. One of the most difficult parts of it was watching everybody succeed, watching 50. But I put out another album while I was there.
He got bigger.
I spent 10 years in prison, but I was able to move on.
The trajectory of Shyne after that changed.
There's a time to pivot. There's a time to transition. And that's how I got into politics. Politics just came naturally because that made me have a purpose.
That's a beautiful thing when somebody finds their true purpose in life.
This gentleman came with an aura around him, and everybody was drawn to him.
Belize first. The Belizean people first.
This story is unbelievable. Everybody's journey is different. Mine was 23 years. I sacrificed my career and life and family to be someone with humanity, with integrity, with honor.
That's hard. That's hard, bro. Salute to Shyne, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna watch the documentary. I'm gonna do a review about it. Man. But let that do niggas dirty early in your career. You can come back around 360. You know what I'm saying? Bite you in your ass. Karma don't wait for nobody. So on that note, it's your boy Matt Mizzle. You know my slogan. Before y'all go out there and do something stupid, ask yourself, what am I back to? Because all I do is sit back, relax, count stacks, and kick backs. Oh yeah, smoke packs. You dig? I'm out. Peace.